welcome to the recap of round 2 of Reykjavik Open. I am right now in Iceland in this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful building where the tournament is taking place, and I played round 2 at 9 a.m. in the morning. I have never played chess so early. I mean, I literally woke up, I had the biggest cup of coffee, and I went to my round, and I almost overslept, but I did not. Today, I was playing, well, a 1700. But when I saw the year the 1700 rated person was born, I knew that I've had this before. And it was because this guy was born 2009. He was either 13 or 14 years old. Now, I have a thing. I know that when I'm playing 1700s who are 13, 14 years old, they're not 1700s. They are much better typically because they just haven't had the chance to play so many tournaments. So I was expecting a really difficult game. I have a story of playing underrated kids. I do it all the time. I don't know what happens. I always face them. And today was another day of playing against an underrated kid. So my opponent was called Richard Hasela, and he was from Slovakia. And he won the game yesterday against someone that was unrated, I believe. So I didn't really know how he was doing this tournament, and I had no idea how his real strength would be. Now you may say, Anna, why do you have a profile picture of, well, a Minecraft sword on chess.com for him? And that is because when he walked in to the playing hall, he was wearing a Minecraft shirt. I don't remember what it said, but it was literally a Minecraft shirt. It said Minecraft all over the thing, so I thought, okay, I'm playing a Minecrafter. But not only that, he was also all suited up. Like, he was literally the best dressed person in the whole playing hall. He was wearing a suit, you know, his mom was even fixing his hair for the camera right before our game started. It was awesome. He was very well prepared for this 9 a.m. game against me this morning. So the game went like this. I started with d4, my absolute favorite move, and I hadn't done that much preparation because I couldn't find so many games that he had played in the past. So I thought I'll just play something that I'm comfortable with, and if he plays very theoretical lines, I'll try to change a little bit so that he maybe doesn't really know exactly what he's doing. So knight f6, c4, e6. I didn't want to enter the Nimzo-Indian, which is knight c3, bishop b4, because I thought if he's prepared it, he's going to have all these million theoretical lines he's looked at with an engine prior to the game. So I didn't want to enter that, so I went knight f3, and now he went b6. And this, everybody, is the Queen's Indian. Now, I have an issue with the Queen's Indian, and that is that I lose a lot of games against it. I don't know what it is, I don't know why I do it, but I lose a lot of games against the Queen's Indian. So here, I went knight c3, bishop b7. The idea is that he gets this fantastic bishop on this diagonal, and he's also preventing me from going e4. So for black, the key idea is to take control of this e4 square. Now, one way that they typically do this, but also going bishop b4 and pinning this knight so that my knight is not defending the e4 square. That was why here I played a3, which is one of the main moves. He went d5, taking control of the center, and now went bishop g5, pinning the knight. Now, he was blitzing out these moves. Like, I really thought, okay, he has like a lot of theory prepared because he was playing so quickly. I was playing pretty quickly at this point too, but he was playing so quickly, and I was actually getting pretty nervous because of that. So I went bishop e7, I went e3, simply developing castles, bishop d3, I wanted to get my bishop out, and this move, bishop d3, which looks like a really logical move, this is actually a slight mistake. The most natural way of playing this is simply capturing on d5 and then getting the bishop out, because when I get my bishop out now, he's able to go d takes c4, he captures my pawn with the tempo. I'm forced to take it back, and now I basically lost the turn. I lost the move of going bishop here. So in between me getting my bishop out here and going for this little slow move a3, I am actually in a slightly worse position. I mean, it's equal, but I have not gained any extra good thing, advantage from the opening, which is typically what you want to do when you get the white pieces. So my mom said that I was being a little bit slow, and I guess I was. So this actually just didn't turn out to be such a good opening for me. So he went h6, and I could either go here or here with my bishop, but I decided to go to h4. Knight b7, I castled, and actually at this moment, before I castled, I really needed to go to the bathroom. And I stayed here thinking about what should I do, because I was really considering going bishop d3, just because I knew that I wanted to go knight e4, so I wanted to prevent him from getting his knight to this fantastic square. But I also knew that I had to castle at some point, and I was really thinking for like 10 minutes about what I should do. And then I was just like, okay, I really need to go to the bathroom. So I just castled, and literally like, yeah, I just went to the bathroom. I hate when that happens in chess tournaments. Like, it happens a lot. Anyways, that is the thing. So knight e4, he did the move that I was expecting him to do, and here actually I could have chosen to take and then maybe go bishop back, or if he takes this bishop, just move my knight back just to keep a little bit more pieces. I think that would have been better for me, because now when I decided to exchange all my pieces, I was only left with my bad pieces. I really wish I had a knight here on c3 that was taking control of the e4 square, which is one of the main squares in this game. And in this position, this knight is not doing much, it's just being clumsy. You know, if I move my queen, it's gonna take my knight. And my bishop is just not so well placed, it's being blocked. My rooks are not developed, my queen is not doing anything apart from defending this knight. My pieces are actually quite terrible right now. So in this position, I decided that I really needed to take some center. And that was actually a key moment in the game. I really wanted to take center. And the only way that I saw to do that was to go knight d2 and retreat. But this is actually a mistake, because my knight on d2 is terribly placed. So here I should have gone something like queen e2, brought my rooks in, and just go for a slower game. But you guys know that I don't like slow. I like, when I have an idea, to really go for it immediately. So I went knight d2, and this was actually quite a big inaccuracy, because you're going to see my knight is going to become more and more terrible. I mean, it's literally going to become really bad. So the bishop over here on e4 was not even well placed. I'm forcing the bishop to go to a better square, and keep in mind that my opponent is playing all of these moves really quickly. I mean, he's sitting down with his suit, you know, all suited up. He's looking at the chessboard. He plays a move immediately, he goes up, he comes back down, he plays another fantastic move immediately, he goes up. I mean, he was playing so fast, like he was insanely fast and was playing really good moves. And that was kind of like, yeah, it was like getting to me, like, you know, in my mind, I was like, oh wow, like he really knows what he's doing. And it was actually like pretty smart of him. So I went queen e2 here because I wanted to connect the rooks, and I really felt like my queen had to go here at some point. And now he went a5, and the reason he went for this was because he wants to go c5 here. He wants to break the center, right? Because he doesn't want to do it with e5, because then I'm going to be able to push this pawn, and my pawn is going to become really strong. So he wants to do it with the c pawn to also open up some files. Sorry, my arrows are terrible because I'm using a mouse pad. He also wants to open up some files to get his rooks involved in the game. So he really wants to go c5, but he was scared after c5 that I could go takes, and then go b4 and kick him away. So that's why he went here a5, but he could have gone c5 immediately. So I simply went e4 here, and this was probably, yeah, this was also an inaccuracy. Like I said, I really need to get my rooks in, but I'm trying to go fast. My plan is to go e4, take control of the center. But the better idea here would be to simply bring in the rooks, just to have more pieces playing the game and prepare e4 instead of going e4 immediately. The issue with going e4 is that now this pawn is not protected by any pawn anymore. My e pawn is not protecting this anymore, which means that when he goes c5, that move is coming with a lot more force. I wish that I could just stay with my position the way it is, that I could capture back with a pawn. I really wish I could do that, but obviously now I have no pawn protecting. So in this position, any move that's not capturing here is really bad, because he's just, if my pawn is able to capture here, he's just going to get some fantastic squares for the knight. So I captured his pawn, and taking with the pawn here would be really bad because it would isolate his pawns. Taking with the queen would allow me to go rook c1 and gain development with the tempo. So he took with the knight, which is the best move. Knight takes, and now, once again, what is the objectively fantastic thing to do that a grandmaster would do? They would bring in the rooks. Chat, if you are ever thinking, what should you do whilst your rooks are in their garage waiting to get developed? Well, then the answer is you should develop them. But what did I do? I did not listen to that, and instead I went for b4, which is it's a move that it pushes away my opponent's pieces. It lets me gain some space, but long term, my pawn on b4 is going to become really weak, because after takes and takes, there's no pawn that is defending this. So that is the issue that I have with going b4. So here he went knight d7, And the idea of going knight d7 is obviously he needs to defend the knight, and he's going right now to e5. That is his main idea. He could also have gone knight a4, which would have been really, really a really good move, as we can see that there's some good squares here. But going knight d7 is totally fine as well. So in this position, I realized that I was in quite a lot of trouble because my pieces are just completely uncoordinated. My bishop, my knight, my queen, all my pieces are really uncoordinated, and his pieces are much better. This knight has a future, this bishop is pointing towards this pawn, my pawn is being threatened by this queen. So I realized here that I had quite a lot of issues. So I decided that I didn't want to go b5 because that would lock in my bishop, and so I decided that my best chance would be to go bishop b5, put the bishop in a square where it's not going to be attacked if he moves up his knight, but where I'm also stopping him from going queen takes pawn as his knight would be hanging. So I decided to go there, and he went for this move, knight f6, which was very annoying. You could also have gone knight e5. And here we can see that this pawn is hanging, this pawn is hanging. So I decided that, you know what? I just literally need to take care of my pawns. I did not want to be a pawn down against this guy. I mean, yeah, I really did not want to because I didn't see how I could get any sort of counterplay. So I decided that I'm going to make some moves that are going to be a little bit more passive, but at least I'm going to keep all my pawns. I'm going to keep all my very dear material. So I decided to exchange. Rook takes rook, and then rook b1. The reason I didn't want to go rook b1 immediately was because, boom, the rook comes to a2, my knight is pinned, and then he's going to bring in another rook. So I wanted to exchange some pieces just so that he would have less pieces to attack with. So rook b1, and he went rook a2 anyways, and I knew that I was worse here. His pieces are really active. My rook is just here defending. And now it was really important. I went queen d3, one, to get the queen out of the pin, but also two, so that this queen could not take control of the d file. Here, his absolute best move would have been to go knight g4, but actually at this point, I had 17 minutes left. And that, when you have 17 moves to go in the game, is not a lot. So actually, after I went queen d3, I ran up to the bathroom, and I think my opponent did a move pretty quickly because he wanted to flag me. He wanted me to lose a lot of time in the bathroom. Because when I came back, I saw that like 4 minutes had run out of my time. So I think he made a move pretty quickly, and that was a mistake by him. Because here, he should have gone knight g4. Look at this, getting this knight that is right over here, getting it to a much better square, which is this one. Once again, guys, sorry about my arrows and stuff. I'm using a mouse pad, and I'm not great at FPS, and well, FPS games, I suck at them. I just don't have good coordination with my mouse pad. Anyways, so he should have gone knight g4 just to simply get this knight up to a much better score, because his knight on f6 is not doing anything. But instead, really quickly, because he was playing so fast, he had like 50 minutes left here, whilst I had like 17. He went queen c7, and this queen move is actually not doing much. Yes, he's looking a little bit towards h2, and now this move is going to come with a lot more force. But this queen was really well placed here, threatening the pawn, forcing my rook to stay on defending. So queen c7 actually did not do anything. And I took like a breath out when I got back from the bathroom, because I was like, okay, he didn't bring his knight. I was really scared of this move. I got an extra turn to do whatever I can do to save my position. So here, it was a key moment. Any other move apart from the move that I did, lost. It was really important that I went for the move that I did, and that move is f3. That was a key moment. Why is f3 so crucial? Well, this move has several purposes. The first one is that it's defending this pawn. That's the most obvious thing. If I would have gone something random like h3 in this position, then there is this move queen c2, which, well, if I exchange, my knight is hanging, and after the knight moves, this pawn is going to be lost. So actually, I really need to take care of this pawn. I need to go f3. The second thing is also that it's preventing the knight from coming up to g4. And well, the third thing is that it's also getting my king out of any background checkmate. So f3 was crucial, and my mom was really hoping that I was going to play f3. Like, she was really being like, I would do anything for Anna to play f3. Come on, Anna, play f3. Like, she was getting really excited about that. So I did it. So yeah, you're welcome, Mom. So f3, and now in this position, he went bishop c8, which is one of the best moves. It's not the trickiest move. More tricky moves could have been to go queen f4, try to take control of these dark squares. That would have been trickier. Or maybe even rook a8 to try to get the rook to this side and start attacking me. But he went bishop c8 with the simple idea of going bishop d7 and just exchanging. Now in this position, I was so happy because I saw that I had this one move, that would force an exchange of queens. And this morning, I was talking to Nils Grandelius, who is the highest rated chess player in Sweden. He's like 2650. And I asked him, hey Nils, I'm playing against the guy born 2009. How do I beat him? And he said, Anna, whatever you do, just exchange queens at some point, and it'll probably good for you to do that. And so I was thinking about that, and I was just so happy. I went queen c4, which forces a queen trade because the rook cannot capture the knight, as then I'll be able to capture the queen. And if he captures my queen, then I'll be capturing it back with my knight. Now, the reason why he cannot move this queen anywhere is because I'm also threatening his rook. So he's forced to exchange the queens. There's no way around it. He must exchange queens. He cannot move this queen and defend this rook because the only way of doing so would be to go queen e7, but then his bishop is hanging on c8, which would be terrible. But when I was sitting there and he was taking his sweet time, I saw his hand. And as a chess player, you get the feel on what your opponent is about to do depending on how their hand looks. In his hand, it wasn't a clear grabbing and going to take another piece. It was a sort of claw movement. And you may think that I sound crazy right now, but this claw movement, the way he was positioning his hand made me think that he's actually not going to exchange queens. He's going to move his queen to another square. But I said that's impossible because he's going to lose a piece if he does that. And he did. He went queen d8, completely missing that his rook is hanging. And the moment he dropped the queen on d8, he noticed. And you could just see how sad he was. And after I captured his rook, he resigned the game and was obviously very, very sad. Because he had played a fantastic game all up till that point. I mean, he was playing almost perfect moves the whole time, which is an insane achievement for, well, one, his age, but also his rating. So he played a really good game, and unfortunately, this blunder made him lose. Well, unfortunately for him, obviously I am happy because I won. But yeah, this is how chess can go sometimes, and I was very lucky there. This would probably have been a draw if he didn't blunder the rook, because it would have been a completely equal endgame after the queen trades. But this is how it went, and I ended up winning this game. So I am right now on 1 out of 2 points. My next game starts in around an hour, and I will probably be playing against someone higher rated than me with the black pieces. I'm kidding. Wait a second. Actually, the pairings just got out. The moment that I'm filming this video, the pairings got out. So I am playing with the black pieces against the Swedish guy called Adrian Söderström, who's 2300. I know him. I used to be higher rated than him. And then I started streaming. I remember the days when he was 1700 and I was 2100. I remember those days. Now he's 2300 and he's born 2007. So he is 16. He's 16 years old, yeah. He's beaten at 2000, lost to 2500, and now he's playing me. Okay, this is going to be fun. I think I've played him in the past. I'm excited. He's obviously a million times better than he was last time we played. I think I drew him last time we played a few years ago. All right, guys. Well, we will see how that goes. I'll post the recap tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching the video.